Hey, good morning, everyone. Today we are going to deal with the comparative literature and translation, which is the 15th chapter in comparative literature. So, firstly, what is translation? So, for example, if you are in India, you might be familiar with some languages like Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and these kind of languages, and you are not very much familiar with French, German language, and these kind of languages. So, thus, translation serves a part in knowing the other world or country literatures or particular piece of work. So, first, we are going to deal with the importance of the translation for study of the comparative literature. So, how this translation is very important for the comparative literature? Let's see now. So the first and the foremost point is that the masterpieces has been produced in all languages. Of course, there are many masterpieces like we have Siddhartha. It is actually by a German scholar Hermann Hesse, right? But it was translated into many languages. In English also it is translated so that we can easily understand and interpret the text. So that is the first point. So all the masterpieces are actually translated, and thus that helps in the comparative scholars to compare the literature between two different countries. So people actually, this leads the people to share their experiences and emotions based on the foreign works with everyone. So thus the importance of the translation for the study of comparative literature. So the second point is that we may feel that the translation would what it will do, it would actually spoil the originality of the work, we may believe, right? So of course it is that there are good aspects as well as the bad aspects. Some believe that the translation will destroy, what will it destroy? The precise writing of the author, the previous or the original writer, or the thoughts of the writer may be differed, and the feelings and the word described in order to create intents in the readers, everything may differ, right? So they may have exaggerated in some other languages, but that couldn't be told as far as it is concerned in a native language. So for example, we have two things, that is the Thomas Hood's work and Swinburne alliteration. It was actually not translated in many of the languages, but at the same time we have this Genesis, which is the majesty and the intensity of the divine comedy that has been maintained in the great extent in translation. So, and another thing we have is American poet Bayard Taylor. So he is actually known for his translation of Goethe's Faust, and before he than for his own writing. Actually, he is very much famous for his another one's translation than for his own writing. So the thus translation actually serves as a purpose in knowing other countries' work of art. Yes. So then the translation influences writers and work. How translation influence some other people. So we have Montaigne, who is the French essayist, right? So actually he is the main reason for Francis Bacon to be influenced by the essays, and he became the father of English essays, right? So after that we have Samuel Beckett. He inspired many absurd dramatists, and the novel form, actually it was the novel was developed in Italy, and then it was undertaken by the English and other languages, and thus English novel in turn, it was influenced many Indian writers to write novels in Indian languages. And then comes the purpose of translation. The purpose of translation, it is varied into two classified classifications. So it introduces us to the different form of art in other language. The very first and the foremost thing is that we can get into contact with other type of art in other languages, right? So if without translation, it is not accessible or impossible to read. So for example, the sonnet from the Italy. So if the Italian language, if we don't know, we don't have the craze for reading Italian works, so thus it is translated. And the haiku, it is the form of poetry in Japan, and they too become the popular because of translation. So what translation says is, translation widens one's capacity for meaning and expression in one's language. And there are two main sources of European translation. The very first source is the Bible, and Bible it served as a mediator between, which brings all the Europeans together into one religion, that is the Christianity. Obviously, it is blatant that Christianity is the religion which is actually um, they are joined with the only religious book, that is Bible, I guess. So after that, the classical works of the Greece and Rome were translated into many European language, that is the English language, and that led to the great literary revolution that takes place in the Renaissance. So that's all for today. Today we have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 topics in the important in the comparative literature and translation. And thank you. Let's continue the next pages in the next video. Thank you. Bye.